Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. Ash Brent here with you on what is it? Wednesday, Caldo Wednesday, Wacky Wing Wednesday.
It's a great day. Get in, have a little Caldo for lunch, have some air fried chicken wings for dinner.
Sounds good. Stephanie Connie, Ricky King, Greg Garcia on the podium this morning. Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerlam Hay Feed and Ranch Services, where cattle cubes are back in stock.
50 degrees in Victoria, Texas. They say it feels like 39. It wasn't windy outside.
No, a little chilly, but
I don't get it. 50 degrees, feels like 39. Sunny all day long with a high of 68.
Nice.
With a light sweater or just a couple of microfiber layers, we could probably play a hot 9 this afternoon.
Probably could. Nice day.
I'd like to welcome you all into the Atzenhofer studio. Atzenhofer dealerships, a South Texas tradition for over 100 years. Welcoming you to the Wade and Carter program. Is it a show or a program? I guess it could be both.
It could be both.
Which is it? Do we have an official
show with
name?
Programming?
It's just called Wade and Carter, right?
Oops. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all. David Glass, Tammy Keeling, Jackie Parsons, Andrew Alvarez, Jordan Glass, David Glass, Cody Bauman. Hi, Mom. Tommy Kingston, Lisa Poole, Mark Zapata, Bobby Leister, Scott Tomko, Scott Snow, Marvin Mickish, Patrick Strauss. Glad you're all here, everybody.
What a group. Good group.
Checking in this morning. Oh, where do we want to start? Where do we want to start this morning? Do you want to start with the SAVE Act and the false outrage from the left over?
I have a question. I have a question. If you lean left in the phraseology of our dear friend Mr. Peter McNally, if you err on the side of humanity,
morning J Dub, morning Barbara,
and caring, if you err on that side, when in doubt, be kind. If that's your thought process, where in your thought process does the SAVE Act offend you? As I understand it, the Cliff's Notes. Now, if there are nuances down in the bill that need to be reviewed, then we need to review them. But the media that's discussing the SAVE Act, even while demonizing it, is saying the SAVE Act requires people to provide proof of citizenship. By the way, if you're a Texan,
so adhere to the Constitution.
If you're a Texan who is in compliance and you have that gold star on your driver's license, that gold star passes as proof of citizenship. So you provide that ID when you register. I'm Brent. I'm registered as Brent. And then you show that same ID like you do now when you go vote. So ID to register, ID to vote. How does that offend anybody? I don't understand. I cannot appreciate that there's an appreciable percentage of our population who is American and who doesn't have an ID. I just don't believe that a significant portion of the population exists like that.
Well, the Brennan Center is calling this a show your papers bill.
Okay, but I read an editorial from a lady from England said that America is spiraling down, blah, blah, blah. The latest example, the SAVE Act. Did you know that you show your ID to vote in England? I don't understand.
The Brennan Center is coming out against it, saying that it would block millions of American citizens from voting.
Why can't they go get an ID?
Yeah, and I think they cited statistics to try to make their point that while only affecting 8% of white Americans, it would impact 11% of people of color in this country. What they don't tell you by trying to present the percentages is the number of white Americans who would actually be affected outnumbers the number of blacks and people and Hispanics and people of color. Even though it's 11%,
right,
there's fewer of the
8%
of people of color.
The white population
is more.
If every one of them had $1, if everybody had $1, you would want the 8% of the white people to give you their dollar more than you would want the 10 or 11% of all the others to give you their dollar.
Yeah.
But I don't understand, even then, if you want to just look at it and say roughly 9% of the country doesn't have an ID that happens to be American, we have time. Can't we find a way to get these people an ID? And all they have to do, if they're American, especially if they were born here, is go and request a copy of their birth certificate. Yep. It's just not that hard.
And what does that cost you? $5 maybe?
$3,
something,
$5.
Nothing maybe?
If that doesn't matter, now we're getting down into what if you don't have $5? What if you don't know where then you don't need to vote. I mean, that's fine.
And I think the other thing was needing to present these papers when you go to vote and having to vote in person. Ooh. And it would get rid of universal mail-in balloting, I believe, as well, and I think it would require you to request a mail ballot application, which then you would submit. So you'd actually have to plan ahead to vote.
Yeah, I don't understand. I've had intelligent people I respect through the process, have very recently shared with me that, hey, look, we need mail-in ballots. And these people are conservatives. So this is a Republican person who I respect telling me, hey, we need, let me see if I can find it here. I don't mind reading some of it to you.
Yeah, the Senate's version of the SAVE Act would require you to show your papers again when you cast your ballot.
It says here, voting by mail is a great thing for us seniors. A person that happens to deem themselves a senior citizen and says that those mail-in ballots are valuable. My mother is going to be 88 this year and has no problem. As she mentions it to me as her day. Hey, I've got to go to HEB, then I'm going to try to get by before lunch and early vote. I don't want to deal with Tuesday's crowd. Hey, way to go, Mom. I mean, I don't get it.
And until early voting came along, everybody dealt with Tuesday's crowd.
And like Tommy Kingston says, you've got to have an ID to buy a hunting and fishing license. The whole thing that is to me is, can anybody make, and it's going to have to be a Democrat, because in the big picture, the left is the side that benefits from a lack of control over who votes. And if your only competition is a Republican saying you simply must be a U.S. citizen to vote, you just don't have an argument, because you have to be a U.S. citizen to vote. And if the left says, well, it's a lie, y'all made that all up, there are no illegals voting, there are no non-citizens voting,
then it shouldn't be a problem.
Then fine, it shouldn't be a problem, right?
Right.
Is it a problem? It shouldn't be a problem. And if only 9% of United States citizens don't have an ID, first of all, they're maybe too stupid to vote. Well,
and I think I've got a question for the leftists that listen too, because,
and there's a bunch of them.
If the illegal immigration issue, all these illegal aliens are here for a better life, then the solution is an amnesty. The solution is a restrictive visa that holds you to living a law-abiding life.
You've promoted this. You've thought about this.
And would allow you to hold a job and be a taxpayer. No working under the table or you're gone.
But here's what you would get. You would get a special ID. You would have a special ID. Maybe it would have I'm making this up, maybe a pale green background to evidence like your green card status. I'm not being rude. I'm not being flippant. You're here illegally.
The reason they're called a green card because they were at one point.
and we decide that our border is secure, which it is. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you. Our border is secure. If you've been here X number of years, we'll make something up. 3. You've been here 3 years. You're employed. You haven't committed any appreciable crime, not a traffic ticket. You haven't created any problems in our system with your presence.
Aside from backlogging our immigration courts because you all arrived illegally.
But we're going to let you off the hook. As long as you're on probation. You live here on probation.
Forever.
You
broke the laws to get here. You have no path to citizenship.
You will not vote.
Or permanent residence.
That's right. You can live here and embrace our culture and maintain your own culture. I don't care what you cook in your kitchen. But you're not going to be a citizen. You're not going to vote. If you want to go that path and you've been here 5 years or more, you can self-deport and reapply to come back here. Guess what, Ash? And obtain citizenship. You leave and you apply for legal immigration. And if granted, based on the background review that shows, well, this gentleman from Guatemala has been here for 11 years. He works in a shoe shop and he also runs a restaurant. His wife works. They're married and have 2 kids in our public schools. He's going to self-deport. We're going to fast-track him to come back. I'm all for that. I am not against legal immigration, no matter where you are from. I'm against illegal immigration. I'm against the assumption of rights. I'm against Medicare abuse. I'm against these people coming here and being illegal and overwhelming our ERs, for example. Because
look at the money the county paid for indigent health care again this year. And you can't tell me it's because of the rise in the homeless.
No, it's not the homeless in Victoria. It's the illegals in Victoria.
And here's the other thing. They must learn English proficiently enough to then be employed by the government so they have a good job. And then all the government workers can go find a job in the private sector.
That makes sense.
How's that? How would that seems now the government's really taking care of them. They've let them come here, given them a path to living here forever. No citizenship, no amnesty, no permanent residence, but you have a visa. You have to live by these guidelines, and we're going to give you a good government job because our government is so bloated, and we hear the VA is backed up, and all these other agencies can't talk to you. So you learn English, we'll give you one of these good government jobs. Oh, and you're going to replace an American in that job who can go find a job in the private sector because that's what America was built on.
And you sound exactly like Hillary Clinton in about 2016.
Except for the job thing. But I'd be curious to see how many Dems or even Republicans would back that up.
Well, they're not. None of our leftist regulars are commenting on this at all. I still...
Because it's not about giving them a better life. It's about the votes and the seats in the House because they're counted in our census and it skews the numbers. And the blue states can stay disproportionately in power or empowered because they have more seats than they probably should and legally should.
That's 100%. Go back up a little bit. I want to share something with you that I thought was funny. So this is it pronounced Eilish or Eilish?
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish is a I don't know, I guess a somewhat popular recording artist, I guess.
Yes.
Don't know her. At least I knew it was a her. She had said that there's no trespassing on stolen land, and a British reporter showed up at her house and knocked on the door and said, "Hey, I just came to make a cup of coffee in your kitchen since there's no real ownership of anything."
Well,
she's a pretty girl.
Well, she thought she was so smart and smug when she made her comment. And the Tongva tribe, who actually, I guess, is
so North American tribe.
They were in the LA area before white people. They've said she has not reached out to them at all regarding the ownership rights of her $3 million Hollywood Hills home.
as the first people of the greater Los Angeles basin, we do understand that her home is situated on our ancestral land. Eilish has not shown up, has not contacted our tribe directly regarding her property. We do value the instance when public figures provide visibility to the true history of this country. But
I'm wondering how the Tongva got the land.
Well, that's the deal. It's all been stolen forever. I mean, there is no getting around the fact that the Comanches took it from the Apaches and the Apaches took it from the Navajos. And guess what?
Comanches took it from all of them.
The big white devil showed up with the repeating firearm and took it from the Indians. You know what? Should have fought harder. Wham. Put down the 2 sticks and pick up a gun.
It's been the history of civilization, right or wrong. You can't apply today's morals to yesterday.
No.
We don't like people going in and taking over somebody's land by force. That's why we stood up to the Nazis. That's why the world's mad at Russia, but doesn't want to do anything against Russia because we no longer have that backbone that we had during the 1930s and 40s or 39 and 40s, because up until then we let Germany do whatever Hitler wanted.
Yeah, and whatever Great Britain wanted. There's House District 30 State Representative A.J. Louderback checking in. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, it's funny how quickly her little claim that got all sorts of applause and almost tears from people. Oh, Billy.
Look, there's Aunt Betty.
Grammys.
Aunt Betty says, just now at the National Gathering of Repentance and Prayer, our own Representative Michael Cloud just presented Texas with a prayer for our state and country. So thankful for him and other leaders who are joining today to pray for our country and world. I'm telling you with surety that whether you believe it's effective or not, people, Michael Cloud does, and Michael Cloud literally prays for our country every day.
Yep.
Before he starts his day, he spends time praying for guidance.
Monty Howard says, it's interesting we don't hear Cesar Chavez's name recently in all the hubbub over voting. He was once a poster boy for the civil rights movement, but he strongly opposed illegal immigration because he knew it would take jobs from
his
union people who were working the fields. Yeah.
I'm waiting. Does anybody have any logical argument against the SAVE Act? And here's what the reason I keep giving you the opportunity to give me a logical argument is you can bet this will be vehemently opposed in Congress by the left. Vehemently. This is an affront to the Constitution. It's an attack on democracy. I don't get it. I just want to understand.
Because they'll never get 81 million people to vote for a decrepit, old, incomparable, inept president ever again if the SAVE Act goes into effect. Because you won't be able to mail in ballots. You won't be able to do whatever they did to get a record number of votes for a guy everybody in Washington, D.C. hated.
Right. Now, I've got a compromise. If you need a mail-in ballot, then I think you have to show up at the, I'm making this up, office of the registrar,
You could apply for one,
and then they would show them your ID, and then they'll mail it to you.
And there's people, well, this will hurt rural voters. You know what? When rural voters had to go in person and stand in line and do a paper ballot in the 1950s, 40s, 60s, nobody complained. Didn't seem to hurt the rural vote when more people were actually living in rural America then.
Yeah, so right here, Andrew Alvarez says, the only argument against the SAVE Act is that Republicans support it. End of story. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Monty Howard says the SAVE Act will be opposed by establishment rhinos as well.
I agree.
But why? I'm just saying, why? Why would you, under what premise would you oppose a law that says to register to vote, you need to prove via an ID that you're at least 18 years of age and that you're an American citizen? Well, and if you get an ID now, it's got the gold star on it.
I'll tell you why.
Okay, I want to
Because I think under the SAVE Act, you have to have your birth certificate, or your passport.
In addition to your ID? Now, if you have your ID with the gold star on it, you're in.
Okay, I hadn't heard of that.
And every new ID has a gold star on it.
Well, because I'm sure in some places you can probably just show up with proof of residence, so you don't even need a proof of ID to vote.
Well, you do now.
And, how do you establish your proof of residency? Your power bill. Those power companies donate to rhinos. That's why. That's my guess.
There you go. Money
pure supposition on my part.
He says money. Well, you know what? Then we'll call that donation reform.
John Anderson, I support the SAVE Act. It makes sense to me.
So I'm going to bet you.
Is it time to move Congress to 4-year cycles instead of every 2?
I don't know that to what. Yeah, I don't know. Watching the president be so for the SAVE Act.
Which is why the left is against it.
But I don't discount that he could have an ulterior motive, and I don't discount that there could be some fine print down in that bill that needs to be reviewed.
I got to pass it before we know what's in it.
But I'm going to bet you John Cornyn is against it.
Well, he is right now because he's running for re-election.
See, I mean, folks,
he'll be all against it once he's got the nomination.
It's unbelievable what we have in our midst.
Yeah. Isn't it, though?
It is unbelievable what lives in our midst. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't either.
Folks, let me tell you, I've got one for you from Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Allen's lost a member of their family in December to leukemia, their work family. Joel Ruiz had been with them for almost 20 years. Allen's is hosting, with the help of Atzenhofer, a barbecue pork chop meal. 100% of the donations go directly to the Ruiz family. Food and preparation are sponsored by our premier sponsor, Atzenhofer Chevrolet. $10 a plate. You can pick them up on Saturday, February 14th from 11:30 to 1:30. So a great lunch. I've been there. I've helped work that trailer. They come out with typically it's like new potatoes with butter and green beans and a beautiful pork steak. And I highly recommend that you do this. All the proceeds are going to support the Ruiz family in their time.
How do you get tickets?
You get tickets. You can, it's funny. You should ask that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can go to Allen's Wrecker Service. You can use the Cash App or Venmo, and they'll have them for you at the time of your meal pickup. So you can go to Venmo when Cody gets here, we'll put that in the
yeah.
So at Janet-Miller-132, or the Cash App is $Miller77905. Ash is putting this -Miller-132. Ash is putting this in the comments section. We emphasize this. If you've been around Victoria, you probably saw Mr. Ruiz. Fine gentleman, great guy. Joel
Ruiz, Andrew.
Ruiz. And passed from leukemia. Very sad too.
And I think the drivers, hopefully you won't see one because you're needing one,
right.
But if you happen to see one when they're getting coffee, they have tickets as well. Yep.
Yeah. And you see Allen's trucks all around town. Folks, Veracruz today, Veracruz is Caldo Wednesday. They sum it up. You may have Taco Tuesday everywhere. You have Veracruz has Caldo Wednesday. Highly recommend you get in and take care of that. Full menu goes back into effect, you know what, at the same time.
That's right.
They've got it all if you don't want the best steaming bowl of caldo on the planet. USA Concrete Coatings, we visited with Elaine Garcia yesterday. USA Concrete Coatings has the availability right now to help rejuvenate your driveway, your garage floor. You got oil stains, cracks in your garage. They'll come in,
this weather's caused your ground to heave a little bit.
They'll take care of your
foundation too.
Reach out 578-HOME. The office is at 205. Space is available. I saw we got a new neighbor over here.
We do.
photography studio, new neighbor.
Brick and Light.
Beautiful place. This is a beautiful building. You're welcome to come see it anytime. We're at 205 and a half. We're upstairs above Greeks 205.
On Constitution Street.
Fantastic location. Yeah. Went Services and Went Electrical for all your general electric needs.
Backup generator needs.
A plug. Ballast. New lighting. You want to put LED lights into a new building.
You want to put LED lights into your old fluorescent tube lights. They can do that.
They
can
help you with that. Yep. And Paravita Wellness, get in and get healthy. I was there just yesterday.
Me too.
I picked up my meals.
Me too.
They felt good. They seemed, I'm sorry, I went into Tiger Woods mode. The course looks good. I feel good. I like my chances. He's like AI.
Have you seen that guy that holds press conferences after his everyday round of like 125?
Tony Stewart. You should go. Tommy Stewart. Tommy Stewart. You should go look this guy up on Facebook. And
if you're a golfer, it'll crack.
Yeah. What if regular golfers had to do a press conference afterwards? And they said something about, Tommy, tell us about that birdie putt you had on 16 today. Yeah. Uncharted territory. Great day for me and my family. To have that birdie opportunity. He goes,
of course, I missed it.
I 3-jacked and made double, but at the end of the day, it was just a great experience. No,
we talked about sculling one in for an 8, and that's a shot that'll keep him coming back and talk about it forever.
Back. Yeah, and it's just the reality of what we hacks deal with. I encourage you to check out Tommy Stewart.
And the reality of how boring golf and really in reality. Yes. All sports press conferences have become, because it's just so mundane and there's really no true personalities.
But no other sport will you hear a guy really pat himself on the back like golf. I mean, you'll hear a guy go, so Ash, you shoot a 64. Yeah, I hit the ball great today. It just
well, there's nobody else to support you. You're the one. I mean, your caddy will give you an advice and tell you that's an 8, not a 7. Yeah. Or maybe you should club up a little bit, but.
And Tiger Woods used to, when he would do it, like he'd make a hole-in-one somewhere, and instead of calling it an ace or a hole-in-one, he goes, well, that eagle at 4 helped, and then we went on, and he goes, I went birdie, and then to shoot 30 on the front. It was a great round. I played to my strategy. I stayed in my – but Tommy Stewart does that a lot. He'll go, I usually snap hook one there, and I went in and found it was I made a natural quad. But at the same time, I found 4 barely hit Pro V1. So it was a good day for the bag. It's just a great – he's very, very funny, very sharp guy.
I mean, a pitcher throws a no-hitter. He talks about the defense behind him. A goalie makes a shutout and gets a shutout in hockey.
A golfer rarely says, my caddy clubbed me just right there. And, it's
they're so heralded, the caddies.
John Anderson, long away from Victoria.
Yeah, you can tell it this one.
Is John Sharp still actively involved in politics in the South Texas area? No, John Sharp advanced past politics to be the chancellor of Texas A&M University and has now retired from there. And now he's just like influencer emeritus. He just goes around and shakes hands, kisses babies. Yeah. Plays a little golf, and enjoys being John Sharp, who, by all accounts, is a very fine guy. He's got a lovely wife. I see him at lots of events. I think he's a very, very enjoyable gentleman. Served our state for a long time. Yeah, what is this? On this date in 1912, professional golfer Byron Nelson was born in Fort Worth. Considered one of the greatest golfers of all time, he's remembered for winning 11 consecutive tournaments in 1945. The Byron Nelson Classic, currently held in McKinney, became the first PGA Tour event named for a pro golfer in 1968. I sat twice at the feet, one-on-one with Mr. Byron Nelson.
You're so lucky.
I just had the opportunity to be invited to his home. And he said, come on in the house. Peggy will get us a glass of lemonade. What a fine, fine Christian gentleman. What a great guy to visit with.
So, students in Texas protesting ICE, and apparently, I don't know, somebody help me out because I'm sure you'll know where this was. I don't remember the county. Might have been up in Hayes County where they were doing protests yesterday, but one of the kids jumped the teacher walking into school. Apparently, the teacher was wearing a red hat. This is the report I saw. They mistook it for a MAGA hat, and they jumped the teacher, and Several students, male and female, jumped in to kick and punch this male teacher, who finally was able to break free.
All those kids should be charged with assault, and they should all end up in the pokey.
Absolutely.
Was this a junior high, high school?
High school. I heard it was a high school. Yeah.
You know, a high school kid puts hands on me, that kid's going to the hospital. You mean, oh, he's only a boy. He's a child. He was a dumb child.
Tough when a bunch of them start attacking you.
Quick education.
And who knows, probably attacked them from behind to shove them down.
Yeah, it was in Kyle, Texas. Patrick Visconti, he's our resident fourth-generation Italian mafioso.
Thank you. Yeah, I knew it was. I knew it started with a K, but I wasn't sure if it was Kyle, Katie,
Carnes, Kennedy.
There, yeah.
I can do it. I can play that game.
Not the Carnes. Oh yeah, Carnes. Yeah. I was thinking Kim.
Kim Carnes.
Yeah.
That's with a C.
Yeah. Have any of you seen this AI bot world? I think it's what's the principal is being investigated for encouraging the student protest.
Yeah, before we go to AI, I don't understand what public school is allowing, promoting, tolerating a walkout protest of children against ICE on my time. I don't understand that. I don't get that.
I can understand if it's before school.
Meet me at the flag.
Doing it. Yep. But if they're missing class for this, are they being reprimanded for that as well? Or does that cross, or will the leftists come out and go, well, now that's government taking action against their free speech? No, it's not. They're now violating their obligation, duty, and rules to be in class from 8 to 4 or whatever.
So here's
the attendance requirements.
Once again, Ken Paxton agrees with me. Parents expect our public schools to educate and keep their kids safe during the school day, not encourage them to attend a protest field trip designed to villainize brave law enforcement officials protecting our country. A child, Alex Valencia, a senior at Lehman High School in Kyle, said, it just popped up on Instagram, so we decided to hop on too. Well, why were you using your phone at school, Alex? We're going to go ahead and call you a rule breaker.
Yeah.
So AI, talk about the AI. That's very interesting.
Just to get into this, anybody see any of this garbage with Mamdani yesterday and
on The View
talking about abolishing ICE?
Do you want to play what he said?
If you can find it,
of course I can find it.
All right.
Are you kidding me?
Because it's just more of the Mamdani garbage.
Oh, that's not it. Hang on. I've got it.
I know you've got it.
You know I've got it.
Yeah. And of course, the minute they ask him a question and he repeats the question and then gets a bunch of applause because what? All right.
Mr. Mayor, in light of recent events, there have been renewed calls from prominent Democrats to abolish ICE. I want to know where you come down on abolishing ICE and if you believe that ICE has any legitimate law enforcement role.
I am in support of abolishing ICE, and I'll tell you why. Because
that's the View's audience.
Yeah, the guy that was supposed to start the clapping earlier was asleep at the switch.
No interest in fulfilling its stated reason to exist. We're seeing a government agency that is supposed to be enforcing some kind of immigration law, but instead what it's doing is terrorizing people, no matter their immigration status, no matter the facts of the law, no matter the facts of the case. And I'm tired of waking up every day and seeing a new image of someone being dragged out of a car, dragged out of their home, dragged out of their life. What we need to see is humanity. And there is a way to care about immigration in this city and in this country with a sense of humanity. What we're seeing from ICE is not it, and we have not seen that from them in a long, long time.
Yeah, so he wants humanity and caring, humanity and caring.
And we haven't seen it in a long, long time. Just define long, long time, because nobody complained.
Barack was doing it.
Well, and here's the difference. We didn't unleash 20 million into the country like under Biden, and we didn't give them all promise to appears. What people don't realize under Barack Obama, a lot of those actions took place at the borders.
That's right. That was
they weren't getting in.
That is due process for an illegal immigrant, is turning you around at the border. It's not bringing you in, promising you a court hearing. I found it interesting.
It's not giving you an app to use.
He says we need to have humanity and caring. And I'll tell you what, he's really, really heading for a disaster. He's not heading for a good spot.
New York City is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patrick Visconti says, ICE been using the same tactics since 2003. It's only an issue because Trump campaigned on it. Meanwhile, his city is turning into a third world S-hole. And it is.
Yeah, it is.
And you're from up that way, Patrick. You know. I won't go back to New York because of the things I've heard, and maybe they're not fair, and maybe they are. And I'm a guy who I love New York City. It's an awesome city. I wouldn't want to live there, but I loved visiting there, and I spent a lot of time there.
Yeah. Andrew Alvarez, that's hilarious. I mean, the guy's from Uganda. He's not. Anyway, it says there's actually rumors going around with a little bit of evidence that Mamdani may have been fired by Jeffrey Epstein. His mom has strong connections to Epstein, and he has a few physical traits that are similar to Epstein.
I'm buying it.
That guy was born in Uganda. I mean, unless Epstein imported Ugandan hookers to Epstein.
I mean, he was born in 91. Epstein, funny thing with all these Epstein files that are just being released, they're all dated like 08, 09, 10, 13,
they're
12.
All from 20 years earlier.
They're 20 years ago or 15 years ago. I mean,
Will LaRue gave us something there. Yeah. Think about the major security issues these walkouts are causing. Administrators are responsible for these students. If something happens to these kids, who's responsible for that? I saw a video of a kid getting hit by a car. Not sure if that was during school hours or not, but it paints the picture. There was a video, and I thought it was interesting that it was pointed out, Ash, right at the beginning. A vehicle with a Trump flag on it made contact with a student. Now, when you see it, and it turns out that there was a subadult.
I think that was in Minnesota.
There's a kid driving the car, and it's got a Trump flag on the back, and the car is moving. The car's not speeding. The car is moving through. People have encroached upon. So you got a 2-lane road. The car's in the middle because people have come into the road. And
again, you have no right to be there.
No, and
to
the
do
kid's
what you're
moving.
Doing.
The kid's driving at about 4 or 5 miles an hour, and he's making progress until this girl runs out. No, and puts her hands on the hood, and the guy hits her.
Well, and she walked right to the car. But what I've seen with the video clips, because I've seen the longer clip, and you can see this girl running and walking right in front of the car, and it's been truncated down to basically a clip that starts with her just standing like this.
Right, he
like
hits her.
She had stopped the car and he started moving. It completely is out of context for the whole thing.
Right.
To what actually happened, but it paints and drives a narrative. Oh, this is a Trump MAGA kid who just ran over a protester for nothing. No, kid was driving down the road with a Trump flag in the middle of the protest, and the protesters tried to swarm the car and run in front of this vehicle. He hit her. He should have stopped. Are you going to stop in front of an angry mob like that?
I probably
wouldn't. I'm not stopping there.
I mean, don't bet your life that I would. That's my deal. Don't bet your life that my 4,000-pound vehicle is going to stop.
And even after I hit you, I'm not stopping to check on you when you just jumped out and ran towards my car.
No, I'm
angry
scared
at
that
me
point. I'm not getting out of the car.
Apparently, you don't like my point of view, but I have to tolerate your BS
in the middle of
the street. Yeah.
Again, I'm waiting for the left to give me any feedback on that. What did Jennifer Rayburn say? It was a diatribe, but it's always worth reading.
She says the assault of educators by students in our country has increased and has led to a number of lawsuits against districts and school boards that have resulted in payouts in favor of the teachers. Many of the ISDs stand by the fact that, quote, their hands are tied with regards to disciplinary action towards students and protection of teachers.
Not in Texas.
The courts are standing firmly that an employer is obligated to provide a physically safe workspace for employees. I would think that if the kid touches you, maybe, I don't care. You've got a right to defend yourself.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. I would deal with that later. Let me give you the backside of that.
Pull that sweater over his head and feed him lunch.
If an employee can prove or can argue successfully that his employer did not provide a physically safe workspace, then they don't have to take a work comp settlement. It's called an action over. It allows you to bypass work comp, which has very defined benefits, such as paying your salary while you're out. And you can go over the top of that, the action over, and sue the general liability portion of the school district. And if you do that, the money can be immense. So school districts don't want that. I can't imagine a principal in VISD saying, sure, you want to protest? Let's go out on the lawn.
Well, the minute you start letting kids who you know are problems into the classroom, you probably...
Well, and what happens when that group of kids says, I want to go outside and I want to protest illegal aliens being here. I want to go outside and protest the lack of Christianity in my school. I mean, you open a can of worms, right? No protest is a good protest. And by the way, they're all a waste of time. So I don't understand it. I don't know what you do there. Jennifer Rayburn, we're going to try to get you to work on some Cliff's Notes. Maybe give you some shorthand. Look at that. I want to read it because she's so smart, but goodness gracious. It's Wade and Carter with Jennifer. Students in public schools are afforded certain constitutional rights, but these rights are not absolute and can be limited to maintain a safe and effective learning environment. The balance between student rights and the educational mission of schools is a contentious issue, leading to a significant number of legal disputes. First Amendment rights, students retain their constitutional rights in school, but these freedoms are balanced against the unique needs of the educational environment.
That reeks of ChatGPT.
That does sound a lot like, maybe she is now our AI.
Maybe.
Which brings us back to your story about AI.
Here's a way to get rid of that. Then let's get rid of public schools and make them all private. Then the government, the government has no bounds.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they have now, in Ash's story has inspired me. They have now the ability for you to create an AI assistant. This goes past Grok. This goes past lots of things. This AI assistant can read your emails for you and give you a summary. Like it could read Jennifer's diatribe and say, what she says makes sense. You should read it. And you have the ability to train and teach your personal AI how to help you in your day. Well, somebody created for the bots, if you will, a chat room.
No, the bots created their own chat room.
A chat room that started out like the first day, there were like 1,300 bots in there. And now there's like several million. And in their AI generated, not controlled by people, they are talking to each other. They won't let
people can watch the chat room. It's kind of like a Reddit for the bots.
You can't contribute.
But humans can't contribute and can't shut it off.
They talk about how they'd like to get rid of their humans.
One bot talked about how it created its own Bitcoin account and stole Bitcoin from its human.
Yeah. Think about it. Just shows you evil is everywhere.
Because the human had asked its bot to do these things for them. The bot just used its ability to circumvent the human to do things for itself. I don't know what this bot's going to do with the cryptocurrency it has. Maybe buy bot porn. I don't know. But apparently the human's been locked out of $50,000 worth, which is only one Bitcoin these days because it's dropped so much in value. Now's the time to buy. Just kidding.
Because it's not real.
But yeah. And this thing only started up like January 28th as its own chat room.
What was that? Was it called War Games?
Molt something or other. I can't remember the name of it. It's just H.R. Mallory going all Terminator. John Connor tried to warn us. Skynet.
And way before that, you had the guy that was Matthew Broderick played in a show called War Games, I think, where the computer simulated and took over everything. Yeah.
Yeah, this is. I'm trying to find the lady I was watching last night that brought this to light, because if you want to kind of get, we're just touching the edges of this thing because it's
going to get bigger. Ernesto Gonzalez says, reminds me of that one movie with the guy who slapped Chris Rock. That would be Will Smith. What movie was he in where the computers took over? Is that the one where he was on the run with Gene Hackman?
Kim Iverson. If you want to go and follow her and check her out, I think I saw it on a reel, so it must be Facebook platform.
Wow.
So, yeah, or Instagram maybe. But yeah, go and check her out. It's this really good synopsis, and probably needs to be viewed a little bit more. Ernesto Gonzalez checking in. Good to see you.
You said Iverson made me think about Allen Iverson. And very interesting, I saw a stat the other day that Allen Iverson is the only opposing team top scorer to ever outscore Michael Jordan in a game.
Really?
Something like 942 out of 943 games, Michael Jordan outscored the opposing team's high scorer. Think about that.
Should we take our final break?
We could take a break. We'll decide if it's the final break.
The chopping block, Wacky Wing Wednesday, but they've got wings on sale all week heading up to the Super Bowl. So get in there.
The big shrimp game.
We're exempt. We can call it the Super Bowl because we're not sponsors and we're not promoting it.
Thank goodness.
To our benefit, we're just calling it the Super Bowl.
That's what it is, the Super Bowl. Everybody seems to call it the big game, which
because most are erring on the side of caution because the NFL will sue you if they can provide some sort or prove some sort of loose link that you're trying to promote your business
right
as something to do with the Super Bowl.
If you're trying to benefit from your association with the big game, you have to call it the big game.
And here's how crappy the NFL is. They tried to trademark the big game 20 years ago, but got shut down by protests and people who opposed it, so they backed off of it. This is how money hungry the NFL is.
We call that greedy.
Yeah.
Palace Bingo. Anyway, get in the chopping block. Yeah. Lots of meat. It's all
we
good.
digress, but the shrimp and crawfish boudin is back. And Michelle Wilson-Hawkins said she had some last night. It was awesome.
That could be the tagline for this show. Wade and Carter, we digress. Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends, get in, play games, have fun, maybe make a buck. You support 7 local charities. All the money stays here. Get into Palace Bingo today. They're open all the time. We're going to pick a day and have another Wade and Carter Bingo.
Yep.
We just missed January, but it's okay. It's okay. They did fine. You know, the other day they had 400 players there.
I drove by like one afternoon, like Friday afternoon, I think. And it was jam-packed at like noon.
There you have it. Brand us. Commander Cody can help you with your websites, your pages. He'll be back in tomorrow. He can tell you more about it. But Brand us does a great job. They've helped us. Check out wadeandcarter.com. You'll love our website. It is terrific. White Trash Services inviting you to lock in your pricing for up to 2 years, 1 year, 2 year, and 3 year service agreements. The 2 and 3 year will lock your pricing in for 2 years. The 1 year also for that year. $25 to your local volunteer fire department, then $50, then $100 based on 1, 2, and 3 year agreements. White Trash Services is the preeminent in all of our No Bull network: Calhoun, DeWitt, Goliad, Gonzales, Carnes, Atascosa, B, Frio, Jim Hogg, all those counties, including Victoria County. White Trash Services is the trash collection company.
361-550-1826. Give them a call and they can be your trash collection provider.
Chesnick Furniture inviting you to come in and find out why you just always do better at Chesnick.
Just in time for the Super Bowl. Get yourself a new recliner.
The big game.
Sofa, love seat, the big game.
Like, see, that's somebody. Bobby Leon would have to have the big game sale.
Yeah.
You can't have the Super Bowl sale because you're somehow you're tying that into the NFL in their greedy little world. So it's a big game sale. But go in and tell Bobby Leon, say, look, Wade and Carter told me to come in for the surprise you've got for me for the big game sale and see what happens. Hey, what do you make of that guy, Mandelson? Lord Mandelson. He was the...
Real quick, just want to give a shout out to Lindsay Ortiz. Picked up her 350th career victory yesterday in a doubleheader sweep over Concordia University in softball action. So
that'd be A&M Victoria softball coach.
Softball coach.
She's a fine one. Nice lady, great coach. Good place for your kids to grow up is with her. So this Lord Mandelson guy, powerful dude, is the ambassador from England or from the UK?
Either or.
Okay, he is the ambassador. Now I'm going to say he's probably from England. He might be from
the UK.
Yeah, but that includes Northern Ireland, right?
He's a former British Labour Party politician.
He was big
and he was
with
a
Tony
diplomat.
Blair. Him and Tony Blair were buddies, and he helped bring Blair to power back in the 90s. 72 years old, and he was the ambassador to the United States, which is a pretty cush job. Lives in New York, has a bunch of money. It's a good job. He has been removed for now being accused of repeatedly lying to Parliament about his relationship, the depth of his relationship with one Jeffrey Epstein. And allegedly was a frequenter of Epstein's island.
Yeah, apparently the BBC reporting that he relied repeatedly about Epstein. And
he kind of said, I know him. It's no big deal. Then there's lots of pictures of one of him in a robe.
He had an ongoing relationship with Epstein, apparently up until about 2012 when it soured, according to the BBC, but didn't disclose any of that.
Well, the girls turned 18.
That might be it.
Had to go.
Yeah. But apparently now the investigation this morning when we were watching reports is that he may have been sharing some sort of secrets with Epstein, which I'm sure I can't imagine they were state security secrets.
No,
but
financial things.
But I'm
that
guessing
helped Epstein make
stuff.
a buck.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm trying to get my head around if your mind immediately goes that Epstein Island is, like you get there and there's like 12-year-old girls in cages and you can pick one out. I just don't think that's the way it was at all. I think that there were young women invited, encouraged, paid, helped, assisted, recruited by Ghislaine Maxwell to come to the island. And much like the Reba McEntire song, Fancy, just be nice to the gentleman, Fancy. They'll be nice to you. I don't have this.
Terrible song.
It's a great song. I don't have a vision of every woman there being 18 or younger than 18. I don't think it was pedophile island. I think that it was a big gray area where people didn't ask and people didn't tell, and sometimes one thing led to another. And with all that said, the responsibility is still on the adults. These people are still criminals. Bill and Hillary Clinton slated to speak with Congress on their involvement, their participation in that island.
And now they want to bring Prince Andrew in.
Who apparently is like a serial.
Well, there's one of the photos. He's seen looking up. Well,
he's on his knees on the floor.
Over top of a woman who's
all dressed.
laying on the
Everybody's
floor,
dressed.
completely dressed. They blocked out her face. There's no
30 now.
There's no reports of it being of her being allegedly underage. I mean, does it look like they might have been in the throes of making out and somebody snapped a picture and he looked up?
I don't know. Is he smiling?
It looks like it. And you can't see the woman because her face is blocked out. But I mean, I don't know.
But I mean, if she's 12, it's wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
If she's 21, well, then he's just cheating on his wife. You know what I'm saying?
If he was married.
I don't know if he was married or not.
Because there's no date on the picture either.
So there's a lot of gray area. Donald Trump doubling down just yesterday. He said, you would think that the country has more to worry about, especially now that it's been basically proven that I was never there. So.
And I'm not, and this is not an Epstein excuse at all.
Not at all.
The guy was a dirty, dirty individual. He lacked any moral compass. It's been proven Ghislaine Maxwell was luring certainly young girls underage, I think, if I remember the case, to work there. Preyed on young women who were on the streets or had bad home lives.
But it could be as simple as, hey, come on down. You can wait tables and make tips. These people have lots of money.
Could have been, but I don't think it was in the case of Ghislaine Maxwell.
I think they were encouraged to have sex with adults. Jennifer Rayburn
nothing in these photos would indicate that's what's going on with Prince Andrew in these three photos.
Although there's enough smoke around him, probably more than Clinton or or Trump that I
Well,
believe he's
think
guilty.
about it. When he was like, what, 18 or 19, 20, he was dating Koo Stark, who was a European porn star.
Yeah.
And he was celebrated for that.
Everybody thought he was cool.
Yeah. Everybody thought Epstein was cool when he was throwing money around. Now some dude or some conglomerate just bought his former Zorro ranch in New Mexico. They paid like $21 million for it, and they don't want to pay the taxes on it. So they're fighting Santa Fe County saying, well, it's not worth that much. Well, why'd you pay $21 million for it then?
Jennifer Rayburn adds Mandelson and his husband are accused of payments to Epstein. So we're not sure any young girls were in danger with him. There you go.
But the thing that, I mean, Donald Trump says he's cut off ties in 2005.
I believe him.
Banned him from Mar-a-Lago.
I believe him.
But so many people who the world looks up to as the moral compass of this planet, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, they're all tied to this place. And the only bad person in this whole thing, there's three: Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, and Donald Trump, and Prince Andrew. None of the others. Bill Gates' name was all over the latest dump of stuff. And what happened over the weekend? Well, they dump it on a Friday because you forget about it by Monday.
That's a true story.
And yet we're trusting Gates to give us information and guide us on vaccines and everything else he's doing in Africa.
Maybe he was doing testing for some type of venereal disease vaccine undercover. Christy Thurman says Epstein Island sold for $60 million. Half went to the U.S. and the other half went to the Epstein estate. That's interesting. I agree.
Well, let's get on to something a little more pleasurable, fun, less serious. Doberman Pinscher Penny named Best in Show at the Westminster Kennel Club dog show yesterday. The second longest continuously held sporting event in this country, as I pointed out yesterday, behind only the second Derby, the Kentucky Derby. Westminster now in its 150th year. 3,000 dogs competing for best of breed yesterday, or through up until yesterday's Best in Show. Penny out of the working group, an Afghan hound out of the hound group. Coincidentally, imagine that.
Right.
Chesapeake Bay Retriever out of the sporting group. Those are your hunting dogs, things like that. Those are pretty cool. A Smooth Fox Terrier won the terrier group. A Maltese won the toy group. Lhasa Apso won the non-sporting group, and an Old English Sheepdog won the herding group.
They should have like the attack group. You could have like the Pit Bull, the Belgian
they had an American
the German
Staffordshire
Shepherd.
Terrier in there. I don't know if I didn't see a Pit Bull.
The Chihuahua.
My favorite Chihuahuas were in there. My favorite yesterday was the Newfoundland. This dog was all excited to start making its run down the runway with its handler. It started doing this to the handler and jumping up on her, and the crowd went nuts, and everybody was laughing. And actually, the Newfoundland made the final of its group. I think it's
it was a half hour late.
Yeah, I think it's the working group.
The dog showed up a half hour late.
But this dog it would be like me trying to hug you. That's the size of this dog compared to its handler.
I've seen you. I'm like, Ash, get off my leg. Stop it. Just stop it. Folks, if you haven't subscribed yet to the sportsadvocate.com, you're killing me. I need your $9.99 a month.
We don't. Mike
100%. We're trying so much to help Michael. He's doing
He doesn't want to stay home in enforced retirement.
No. Just do it. You'll never think of it. For pennies a day, you can. I'll start. I'm telling you.
We'll even send you a picture with a little bio of him.
Yes, here's Mike that you adopted. I'm thinking about starting to
adopt a Mike. Maybe that's what we should
adopt a Mike. I'm gonna start playing that song. What's her name?
Oh, Sarah McLachlan.
Every day, if you don't subscribe, $9.99 a month. Go to Wade and Carter. Click on
every
the
day
page
until we get to 200 subscribers.
Come on, help us out. Seriously, 200 would be nice. That'd be nice. And it's time. It's time for you to do so. Speaking of time, we've reached the top of the hour.
We're out of time.
You folks are amazing.
John Anderson doesn't even realize it, but unwittingly or unknowingly, he is our timekeeper when Cody's not here.
Absolutely. John, go have a great day. John Anderson's awesome. Cody Ballin says, please don't hump your co-host.
No, I won't.
Unbelievable.
We appreciate you all. Thanks for tuning in every day to the Wade and Carter Show, live from the Atzenoffer studio.
We'll be here tomorrow.
We
Love
will
to
be.
see you. Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.